Welcome back to 4 Sports. Today we're going to be talking about the UFC's newest rankings. This is the Monday after UFC 280. So nothing crazy in the men's pound for pound. Obviously just Islam moves up to number 3. Leon actually jumps up to the number 5. Charles drops to the number 7. Aljo drops, which I don't like. I really don't like that. I really think Aljo should be 7 and Charles should be 8. And I'm a huge Charles fan. We will talk about the Bantamweight division, which just saw a major change, as you can see right here. Everybody got a change. So, obviously, Sean O'Malley jumps up to the number 1 spot. Wow. That is pretty crazy. I honestly thought that he'd probably be 1, but I could have seen them having Marlon Vera at 1, or maybe even Merab Dvalishvili. I don't know. I will say, I think Corey Sandhagen being at 6 is a little criminal, but yeah, he did lose to TJ and Peter Yan, so it's kind of tough. I don't know. I don't know. These rankings are just so crazy now. You have Yan at 2, Merab. I just don't think that Sean O'Malley is necessarily ready for that title shot against Aljo. And I think you make him and Cheeto do a rematch, and you do Aljo versus Henry Cejudo. And that would be the co-main event, is Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto for Aljamain versus Henry Cejudo. I think that would be an amazing card, like UFC 286, and I think that would just work perfectly. Yeah, so TJ Dillashaw drops down to 5. It's kind of tough to put him below Corey Sandhagen. Rob Font, Dominic Cruz, Pedro Munoz, Song Yadong, Ricky Simon, all those guys just fall. You know, that's just part of it. When a guy like Sean O'Malley beats the number 1 ranked guy, he's going to jump you guys. So, yeah, but, I mean, nothing too crazy. It's just because, you know, the number 11th ranked guy beat the number 1. So, obviously, the number 1 and the number 2 lost, so those guys have to fall. That's just part of it. So, yeah, I mean, I honestly think you do Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto in the co-main, and then in the main event, you do Henry Cejudo versus Aljo. I think that is the fight to make. The other division that saw a big change is this lightweight division. Obviously, Islam takes the number 1, the championship spot. Charles Oliveira drops to 1, and then guys that he has beaten, Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, stay the exact same, just because, you know, Charles was 1, Islam was 4, so Beneil Dariush actually jumps to 4 out of 6. So Michael Chandler is looking like if he were to win, he'd probably go to 2, but then that just looks weird. I don't know if he jumps Justin Gaethje. I don't know how they see that. I don't know. But all these guys get their rankings back, obviously, because they had to have everybody go down 1. So, like, they had to bring in a filler. And so Drew Dober actually got ranked. Connor dropped. Tony went up. Dan Hooker went up. Demir stayed the same. Jalen Turner actually jumped 3 spots. So that's cool to see. He's a top 10 lightweight. Armin Sarukian up 1. But this is all because that they don't have 15 guys. Well, they had 15 guys, but they didn't have a champion listed because Charles was stripped, obviously. So, yeah, you'd love to see these guys get to go up a spot. It's deserving because it felt weird because really, in reality, Islam was the number 3 lightweight. Dustin was 1, Justin was 2, and Islam was 3. And, yeah, I mean, Michael Chandler was 4, but Beneil, after that performance, he had to jump him. Personally, I know we're talking about 280, but I would love to see Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje. That fight just to keep the lightweight division moving. I know that the next fight that's being made most likely at 284 is Islam versus Volk. And I don't disagree with that fight, all because Volk doesn't really have that many contenders. I mean, Max kind of beat Yair. Not kind of, but he beat Yair. He beat Calvin Kattar. It's tough. And then, you know, Volk just destroyed Max. So it makes sense that Volk gets to move up to lightweight and challenge for that belt, just like Conor did. So it actually makes sense. So Bilal Muhammad jumps Gilbert Burns, which I don't see why not. I mean, it makes complete sense. Gilbert Burns is off of a loss. He can't really get a fight booked. I don't know if that's Jorge's side. I'm pretty sure that's Jorge's side. I hate to talk crap on Jorge like that, but I'm pretty sure it's on his part. Gilbert has been talking about wanting to fight a lot. And obviously he's not going to fight Vicente Luque. That's one of his best friends. But Bilal Muhammad is a valid jump to 4. I mean, he just beat Vincent Luque. He just beat Sean Brady and Stephen Thompson. They're number 9, 8, and 7. And when he beat them, Vincent LeCue was higher, Stephen Thompson was higher, and Sean Brady was, well, even. Sean Brady didn't drop somehow. But I guess that's just because Vincent LeCue's coming off of off of 2 losses, excuse me. So I guess Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Gary and Hamzat are now the only undefeated welterweights due to Sean Brady losing. So now we only have 3 of those. But this welterweight division is also going to be moving. You're going to see a lot of changes. If Jorge takes a fight, Neil Magny versus Daniel Rodriguez is supposed to happen soon. I would love the Michael Pereira versus Jorge Masvidal fight if Gilbert doesn't take that fight. Because at this point, if I'm Gilbert, I wouldn't even take the fight with Jorge. He's the number 11th ranked guy. Doesn't even make sense. No idea why I'm even talking about this at this point. Shout out to Bilal. I don't really like you, but you deserve to be the number 4. So right now, you have this light heavyweight division, and it's got some young guys in it, it's got some older guys in it, but you just had Nikita Krylov, Paul Craig, and Volkan Oezdemir all just fight each other. And it's so funny because Paul Craig beat Nikita Krylov, but then he lost to Volkan Oezdemir. But then Volkan Oezdemir loses to Nikita Krylov. So it's just funny. Oh, I saw a lot of people saying that Nikita Krylov needs to fight Jamal Hill, and that's just stupid. Jamal Hill, honestly, I wish Jamal Hill would have got that Jan Blachowicz fight, but I don't really know. I think if whoever wins the Dominic Reyes Ryan Spann fight, you give Nikita Krylov. That's what you do. I think that's the only thing that makes sense. Johnny Walker's got a fight already for UFC 283. So Johnny Walker will be fighting Paul Craig. So he's already booked. So Nikita Krylov versus the winner at UFC 281, Ryan Spann versus Dominic Reyes. Whoever wins that fight, I think that's who you put Nikita Krylov with. That is all the changes to the UFC rankings. What do you guys think about those? And thank you for watching.